You're listening to Engage Williston, a Williston Area Chamber of Commerce podcast, brought to you by the Leadership Williston Class of 2025. Your hosts are Diane Schmidt, Megan Liss, and Carmen Delaney.
Engage Williston is brought to you by Western Cooperative Credit Union. You can visit their website at wccu.org. Join the herd.
Welcome to another episode of Engage Williston. My name is Carmen. My co-host is Meg. Diane is out today, and we're joined in our studio today with Mike Reuter. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. I was on the radio having an interview with you, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come on our podcast?"
It was funny enough, yeah. Like right before that, we were actually talking about podcasts, and then you said, "Hey," I was like, "Absolutely, I'd love to."
That's typically how we rope people in.
Yeah, because it feels like podcasts are just such an accessible way to kind of get information out and stuff, and our podcast is dedicated to Engage Williston, to learning about who's in our community, what you do, and just like so everybody can learn about you. So we're so excited.
Thank you. I've always loved podcasts. It's they can be entertainment, but also, and one of my favorite parts about what they are is it allows someone to have an intimate conversation with someone that they might not ever meet or they might not ever see. There are people that might listen to this who may only hear me on the radio ever, but hey, they get to hear a little bit about myself in a way that I can say like, hey, I want this information to be public.
Exactly, because you're usually the one telling the story. Now we get to know the story of you.
How exciting.
Yeah. So Meg's going to start us out with a roadmap, and then we'll get the conversation kicked off.
Okay.
I would love to. So we're going to be talking about who is Mike, a little bit about his life at the radio station, and any exciting news that might be in the future. That's always my favorite part, so we can stay connected to see, if you have anything people can look forward to. And of course, at the end, we always have our fun little question we like to ask. So you can look forward to that. It's a secret.
It's always a really random question that'll make you think outside the box.
Yeah, we always have fun with that, so... But yeah, tell us a little bit more about you. Like, are you from Williston? How did you get here? If not,
well, I will start at the beginning and take you on an Indiana Jones-esque transition throughout. I was born and raised in Medicine Lake, Montana, so an hour away from here across the border.
Okay.
Went to high school, graduated there, and that's actually where I got the first, I'd say, nibble into my career. It started off where I decided not to play basketball because I was going to go into speech and debate because I thought we had just combined schools. I saw my spot on the bench, got further and further down. I wasn't a basketball guy anyways, but hey. But they were still all my friends. I was still passionate about sports. So I asked my high school, I was like, hey, can I do the starting lineups for the basketball boys? And because they're all my friends. And so I was with no one asked me what I was going to say. No one asked me if I was going to do anything. And I did my best 1996 Chicago Bulls starting lineup. In my mind, the Alan Parsons Project was playing in the background. And honestly, from there, you hear people talk about they got bit by the bug. I got bit by the bug.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it was our local play-by-play guy, Jim Nielsen. He became a mentor to me, and he asked me not too long after that, because he was there covering that game, hey, would you like to help out? That sounds amazing. And it was a senior year in high school, and I helped out for the first time.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And I was terrible. I was flop sweat, stuttering, I kept on fumbling over my words. But, Jim saw the passion that I had. He let me keep going, and I grew. I took that. From there, I went to the University of Jamestown.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Cool over there.
And it was great. I had an amazing time. It was unfortunately before my time there was 2 years before they had a radio, or before they had a multimedia department there.
Oh, yes.
So I just left some of my friends that I'm still in contact with, and they're still in media. They were able to benefit from it. But from Jamestown, I kind of float around a little bit. I was in Billings. I was back home in Montana. I was out in the East Coast in Maryland for a year, and then I found myself back home happenstance and connections were able to find a landing spot for me after I licked my wounds from Maryland not working out for about 6 months. I was able to get a job at NBC as the technical director here. And then it was, okay, I need to figure out what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So then it was kind of like, and then it was jobs. Jobs here and there until I found my way back at the radio station when it was kind of a chance phone call from Scott Haugen. Says, hey, would you be interested? And I was like, yeah. And initially that phone call it was just for news.
Right.
So I was going to be the number 2 person in news there. Fast forward through happenstance, I am now the news director and the main sports guy on KEYZ, and the only sports guy on KEYZ, unless we have fill-ins. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a quick and dirty professional, 39-year synopsis about me individually. Shortly after moving here, I met the woman who would become my amazing wife, Monica. Mm-hmm. We moved in together. We are now in total, we have had 4 corgis. We currently have 3 of them, and we have our golden wiener Diesel and our cat Binks, and we are a very happy pet family.
Yes. It's a big family.
Big family, yeah. And we don't have. Unfortunately, we lost one of our corgis a couple years ago, and we've since got a new corgi family. Mm-hmm. But you talk about hobbies and stuff. I'm passionate about sports, and like my hobbies are still. On Saturday when we were reaching this on this past Saturday, I was watching football for the divisional championship round for the NFL, and my best friend in town here is a Seahawks fan. I'm a Niners fan, but we still like each other enough to go watch games together.
That's good.
I think if you wanted to define me as like one word, I would just call myself a nerd.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
I grew up, playing video games. I still do. Reading comic books, not as often as I was probably like to, but hey, if I see one, I pick one up. And, movies, music, tech. I am just anything that I can do. And I'll find myself down a weird YouTube rabbit hole. Last night I was 4 or 5 videos deep into the science communicator Kyle Hill. He talks all about nuclear technology, the benefits, the future, the hazards, and so it's like anytime I can learn something, that's my sweet spot.
A lifelong learner. That's amazing.
That is so cool. I find it so fun and interesting that your past before Williston, you were just traveling around trying to find your feet, and then all of a sudden it was like destiny. Like you just kept being brought back to this one thing that you were very passionate about, and you basically got scouted, which is kind of cool.
It is.
I got scouted by my prospective wife and by my work. It's funny enough, the first time that Monica ever kind of like saw me is I was walking my corgi Sherlock, and she was a big corgi fan, so she would tell her grandma, I saw this guy walking his corgi. And we got set up on a meet cute, and that went terribly wrong.
Oh no.
And I took it upon myself to apologize for being set up in this meet cute, and it said, hey, if you ever want to get back at whoever set us up, let me know. We ended up going to have lunch, and then it was history from there.
Oh, cool. That is so cool. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, your corgis are definitely something. And I don't mean to call you out as a nerd. It is game recognizing game of that, like fully. And so when I first came to Williston, my grandparents are your guys' neighbors. So it was really cool. I got to be your neighbor for like a month when I first moved here, and our dogs met through the fence. Yeah. I watched your corgi family grow over the years. And it's so cool, like, because Monica's a big nerd too. And,
100%.
And you both have shown me pictures of like your action figure collections and stuff. And it's really cool. It's incredible.
Let's see, in our house, movie props, Funko Pops, screen accurate memorabilia. I think my personal favorite thing that I have is it's an 8x10. It's sitting up on my computer. It says "Play Like a Champion Today," and it's autographed by Rudy from the movie Rudy, and who played at Notre Dame. So it's like iconic in that world of sports. Right next to it probably my second collectible I have is an autographed picture of Scott Bakula. So for those who don't know, the main character of Quantum Leap and a highly, highly underrated Starfleet captain. I mean, Janeway's still number 1, Picard number 2, Cisco number 3, and Chunky doesn't want to hear about it.
No.
Chunky's disagreeing with your lineup,
How
I think.
dare you, Chunky? So yeah,
That's awesome. I often joke with Carmen because, we're kind of nerdy. And I'm like, man, who would have thought Williston? Like, you pulled back the rocks and you just find all these little nerds just hiding in the small underground community.
yes, come down to my basement. I have Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
That's right.
Let me show you my collections.
I have a hoard of dice.
It's amazing. And I love that energy. And I think it's so welcome in Williston. And it just adds another flavor that is desperately needed.
Yeah.
I still remember growing up, early 2000s when there was that big shift of nerd is okay, nerd is cool.
Right.
Because that was when, like, the height of San Diego Comic-Con. And it's like in the start of all these superhero stuff. So, I mean, I grew up, wearing the big nerdy glasses. And then, you'd walk into school and turn the corner and there would be, it's like, I should say, like, I was talking like that. I was like, as I was wearing my Letterman's jacket, as I was the captain of the football team. But it's like, you'd walk the corner and you'd see someone's like, you don't wear glasses. It's like, those are fake.
Oh.
And so it was like the coming to terms. It's like, oh, no. It's like, nerds have become the zeitgeist now. Mm-hmm. It's like, there was always you'd always see, like, before memes were memes, there was like, oh, the jock is going to work for the nerd someday. But it's like, now the jocks are nerds.
You're right.
Exactly. They're one and the same.
I mean, you go, like, you hear about professional athletes. They're not, like, a lot of them are not out in the clubs partying anymore. They're, they're carrying video games with them. They're at their hotels. They're nerds, and it's wonderful.
It is. Have you seen 21 Jump Street?
I have.
Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill.
So long ago.
So funny the way they're infiltrating a high school, but with the mindset of, like, the old school high school.
Yeah.
Like, gotta be cool with the one strap backpack and, like,
The skateboard.
he's rolling into the diesel engine. Like,
How do you do, fellow children?
yes.
No.
They're like, wow, nice car, dude. What's the MPG on that? He's like, 7.
And I love it. I love it because, like, they're doing it and they're like, oh, hey, we're kind of shining a light on all the stuff that we liked as, like, millennials, but also they're, 21 Jump Street was absurd when it originally came around, and it's like they're highlighting the absurdity.
Right.
And I don't think it could have worked if they didn't.
No. Yeah, because, it ended up being that Jonah, the nerd of the two, became the cool kid.
Yeah.
So he got to live his high school fantasy of, this is how it should have been when I was growing up.
Right.
It's hilarious. So yeah, it is really cool to see how that kind of shifts. And I just want to go back really quick to, like, I really love what you were saying about your story about you took a chance on something that you were really passionate about, but you were nervous and maybe you weren't the best at it when you started, but someone saw your passion and was like, we got to foster this and give this a chance. Because there's this one quote that I saw, and it really kind of inspired me when I started trying, like, music production, and I was so bad at it when I started. But the quote is like, anything worth doing is worth doing badly.
That's amazing. I have kind of a motto that it's of the similar vein. This has been my motto ever since I've gotten into, like, live broadcasting, because something always goes sideways. There will be whether it's you get some buzz you're not expecting, a cord gets unplugged, the event that you're at, it's like there's an extra 3 minutes before you begin that you didn't plan for. So that's why in my head it's just F it, we ball.
That's right.
Because it's like there's nothing you can, like, there's literally nothing I can do besides focus on what I need to do to take that next step.
Right.
There is zero. If I get someone's name wrong, if I say the wrong thing, or if I mix 2 words together and it sounds something it shouldn't be, I just have to say, it's like, do I need to address it? No. Then I have to move on.
Yeah.
It's like I have to push forward, because if I don't, there's no other way to say it, but it's like you get into quicksand. because you're just like, you're so focused on pulling yourself out that you're not seeing like, oh, there's a branch right in front of me. I can just grab it and yank. I don't have to try to dig myself out.
Absolutely. You just got to be adaptable and flexible to whatever's happening in the moment. And I mean, it's probably not the same, but I feel like I've learned that a lot with like when we do live streams for ribbon cuttings and stuff. Sometimes things don't go exactly like you thought they would.
Well, anything live, it's like, hey, we don't have the opportunity to push pause and go back or restart it. And if we do, it wouldn't be the same, because whatever you want to call it, wabi sabi, it's those little things like the people. Yeah, it's a ribbon cutting, but it's like one of those little human moments at the beginning that happen. That's what's going to stick with people.
Yes.
The many moments.
Yes. The many, 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 many human moments.
Yes.
But I love that. I think that's so fun. And even just applying it to like regular life. Like so often I feel like we get wrapped up into that stumble of like trying to be perfect, whereas you should just take everything as it comes and just roll with it,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's, for, taking everything and rolling with it, that's also been a personal growth for me, because I mean, we all have our struggles, and the past like 2025, my journey was one of mental health. That was like my focus. It wasn't my focus coming into the year, but there was a point where I said, hey, I have to make some changes physically, mentally, all that stuff to be in a better place. And thankfully, having a supportive structure around me, I was able to do that. Yeah. And that's, I mean, for anyone, for constantly having to deal, like, I'd say my career, my professions are reactionary by nature, because I can't go out there and predict the news. Rarely you're going to go out there and be there when it's happening. So it's all covering it after the fact. In sports, you're directly reacting to what's happening in front of you. And sometimes I can, with enough time, like I can, by the end of this season, there could be the Coyotes drawing up a play and I'll be able to know exactly what they're doing just because of body language, the offense they like to run, this, that. But for the most part, it's, hey, how can I get into a flow state and just go?
Yeah. And just be,
Because in like, once you get into there, it's like the world melts away. And any little flubs or mess-ups don't matter, because you're so focused on what's in front of you, and like that's the goal.
That's such an important part of mental health that I think people are becoming more aware of in recent times, is that mindfulness, being in the moment, so that you're not distracted by whatever's going on in your life. Oh man, that guy in the parking lot was such a jerk. Blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. Oh, my day started off, I woke up late, Doesn't matter. You're there, you're locked in, and that is so important. What are your strategies of like kind of giving yourself that reset? One
of the key things I do for resetting mental health is after the end of every season, I take 4 or 5 days off.
Yeah.
Because that's, that's like kind of the only time I get to just like decompress, because there's always like, the next thing's right on the horizon. So I take that week, because right before that week, it's tournament time. And I prepare for games like I'm still playing. I prepare for tournaments like I'm still a part of them, because when I'm for game day, I'll, usually get up the same time every day for dogs and, feed them and all that stuff. But then it'll be, hey, I eat breakfast at a similar time. I do the same work things at a similar time. I have lunch at a similar time, because it's like, I want to set myself up to be like, to perform the best that I can. And that's really, really kind of how I see it. It's like, it's a performance.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of like, running physical exertion, but like emotional. It's like, and yes, like after a doubleheader, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit tiring. But then to go and it's like, when I'm covering teams, I'm ride or die with them. It's like, I am emotionally
invested.
Yeah. And that's like my goal as a sports broadcaster. And this is just like me personally. I want to try and make anyone who's listening as emotionally invested as I am, even if they've never seen or heard any of these kids before, because from where I came from in Medicine Lake, there was, I can't remember what year it was. It was late 90s, early 2000s. We were going out to a state basketball tournament in Montana, I think it was Bozeman. And someone put up a sign, because like you drive out of Medicine Lake, you go through Main Street, and there's like kind of, you can hit Highway 16, go out of town, north or south. At the light pole, the last light pole out of town, someone hung up a sign that says, "Last one out of town, turn off the lights." And that's an image that's always stayed with me for how important sports can be, especially for communities. And that's my goal, is to foster sports in the community. And, you know, passionate, whatever, feverish sports love. It's like, if I can help impart that a little bit into somebody, then maybe the fans will, you know, the stands will get a little fuller, because hey, they want to go see this, you know, the McDonald kid or the Hobbs kid for the Tetons. They're the number 1 and number 6 scoring people in the country. They both averaged 39 points their last game or in Bismarck. It's like the fact that, you know, there's not a line at the door for people to come in and watch this makes me it disheartens me, because I'm like, I remember when you'd go to these state tournament games and you'd see not only your best friend, but your neighbor, the people you didn't like from town, you know, everybody, and they would all be sitting in the same section cheering their heads off, because that was an event. Basketball games were something to do, a community event. Yeah. And I want to, whatever way I can, help foster that, even if it's a fraction of a percent. Yeah. Then that's an indelible mark that I want to try and leave.
I love that. And I relate so much to your story as like being on the bench, because when I was in high school, I always say I was the varsity bench warmer of my basketball team. And like, for me, I wasn't going up and announcing, but I still wanted to hype. Like, I was the biggest cheerleader for my teammates, and I would direct the pep band. I would like get off the bench, go over, direct the pep band during like a timeout, and then go back on the bench. Like, I still wanted to be a part of how, you know, because I was also the band president and, you know, whatever. So I had to conduct the band. But, you know, these are events where people are coming together. They just want to be supportive and stuff. And it's so cool that like you wanted to hype up your team the way that a professional NBA team would be, and announce, all right, and let's meet our starting lineup. Like it's so cool that like your passion was.
It's needed too. I remember the other day I was reading an article about how, you know, like 2026, how we don't have those community spaces anymore. You know, everything's so individual. You're always, I don't know, watching through the internet. You're in your own home. You're not going out and investing in these communities and being a part of this magical thing that creates this life in a city. So you creating that space or helping to create that space, I think, is amazing. And hopefully people take the opportunity to go and experience it live with everyone, you know.
And I'm not even the biggest champion for it in Williston, and I will say that flat out. And I will never, like, as passionate as I am about Williston sports, I will never hold a candle to John Cole. And it's like, John's a great guy. I respect him. I have nothing but great things to say about him. And his passion for Williston sports it's unfathomable. And every time I see him, we sit and if we can, we talk for 5-10 minutes about, hey, what's going on? What's recent? Hey, what's good? And he always say, hey, keep fighting the good fight, because, you know, Williston football, unfortunately, we didn't win a game all year. Oh. And you go out there and it's like, hey, as much as I try to, I get into spots where it's like, hey, I want to be a little bit of an entertainer, but it's also a little bit of trying for a little bit of wish fulfillment. Yeah. So it's like, hey, 3rd down and 7. Maybe if I hype this play up really, really good, it'll be successful.
Yeah, got to bring the good vibes.
Exactly.
Someone's got
it. I mean, I'm all about riding that good vibe and just like, hey, let's go.
Bottom of the 4th quarter, we are down 48-0, but you know what? We're gonna keep trying. Yeah. You know?
And that's part of the fun thing. Like those moments, like those singular moments that you get, like when you're doing them, you're like, this is a movie. I am in a movie right now.
Right, one of those scenes where you can just hear the music in the background lifting, and everyone's on the edge of their seats ready for something magical to happen.
And it might not happen, but what a beautiful moment that you can create. And the other thing too is that you help bring the why. Like you're saying, oh, this is the number one scorer. This is like you're bringing those stats, you're bringing that information so that people like know to care.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the Williston State, because it's easier to mention them because I don't feel as bad because they're all adults and I don't feel as bad saying their names. When it comes to children, I'm like, especially when I'm not on air. But for the men's side, I mentioned you have McDonald and Hobbs, who are averaging, the top 10 scorers in the nation, with McDonald being number one. They both scored 39 their last outing in a win against United Tribes in Bismarck for their first conference win of the year. Other side of that, the women are receiving votes in the national rankings. They have since the middle of December. Jersey Berg has had 2 different occasions where she has hit 10 of 11 from the field. Taylor Murtaugh, sophomore out of Australia, has nights where she's hitting 35. She started off the season on the bench, and she is just a silent assassin out on the court. And the fact that there are any empty seats at the well astonished me every single night because, and Jersey Berg, for people from Williston, that name is very, very familiar because her dad is an all-time great, not only North Dakota basketball player, but Teton. And Hunter's daughter chose Williston State for not only basketball, but for softball because she wanted to leave her mark on the institution that her dad was so successful and still so beloved at. That just says so much. And then you look at
he does so much to raise money and get these amazing facilities.
And you look at all the student athletes, the work that they're not only putting on in the classroom but before the games. The athletic director, Alex Herman, he's also the boys basketball coach. I can't say enough good things about Alex for how I know he does things the right way, how it's a good program full of not only good players, but good people. And that's something you don't have to worry about, It's like, college basketball kids, a bunch of hotheads, stuff like that. It's like, well, you're going to have some egos. That's just how it comes with competition. But, like, this group of kids, they're great. We got local kids. We got international kids. And the thing about college is they all chose Williston.
Right, yeah.
So it's not, most of them didn't have the good fortune of being born here. They were, Coach Herman in the athletic department reached out, be like, hey, we think you'd be a good fit here. But part of that deal is they need to know Williston and know what they're getting into. So they see Williston, they see the businesses we have, they see the facilities at the college, they see the community engagement with a lot of the boosters, and they choose Williston. And I think that needs to be celebrated more in the communities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's just kind of where I'm at. It's like, for sports, it's like I want to highlight these groups of young people to say, like, hey, these people are putting in so much time and effort for themselves, for each other, for their parents, and for their communities, and they should be celebrated.
Agreed. You're the best one to do it among amazing people in Williston who take part in that. So
you are the best at doing it, and you really bring passion. So I know you want to, recognize other folks in the community that do it, but Mike, there's something to be said about your passion 100%. As well.
I should say it's like I am not without ego. Fully. And I think it's important to have, especially when I need to have that sort of that energy that comes with competition. It's like there needs to be some sort of ego, and it's my job to fight through executive dysfunction, imposter syndrome, anxiety, to fight through all of those and calm them so I can say I'm the best there is at what I do. Yeah. In heart of hearts, do I think no, because Dick Vitale and Gus Johnson and so many people that have come before me in North Dakota, I easily give up my spot in the line too, because I'm like, no, you clear. It's like 100 times. But it's like, do I, come in to be like, hey, I enjoy what I do? It's like, do I think I'm pretty good at it? Yeah. But it's like, am I going to hold myself on any sort of Mount Rushmore? Absolutely not.
And that's totally fair. And that's a good place to be. And, you know, like your career is just starting. You've got so much time to become, you know.
I see a lot of people in this career, and I see it as an older career. And another one of my missions is I talk to any coach, any organization that I'm attached with. Say, hey, anytime that the school or a coach or a player that the coach sends wants to come up and get on, they're more than welcome. This goes back to, I was covering Teton softball. We're doing a tournament. Right before the tournament, their starting pitcher took a line drive off the head. She got a concussion.
Wow.
Unfortunately, she had to miss the postseason. Well, I traveled with the Tetons, and me and the coaches and a couple of the players were sitting up on the bus because it was chilly. And she's like, oh, I'm just going to sit on the bus because she had a headache, and it was windy and it was loud. And I said, hey, if you want, you can just come up in the booth with me, put on a headset, you can listen, or you can just hang out. You can watch. It's a lot closer. You'll be able to see the game. You'll be able to hear it. And if not, if it's too much for you can just turn it down, and it'll be good, you know, noise canceling. So her coaches kind of gave her like, well, you know, you should say something if we got there. And I was like, you can just listen for a couple of innings. If you want to, I'll feed you some soft questions. First 10 seconds that she decided that she was going to, you know, be my color commentator, I knew that she needs to give this an honest consideration for a career.
Wow.
And it's one of those things, I was like, she was already in the sport. She was passionate about sports. She was a sophomore, so she was leaving. And I was like, and I talked to her coaches for weeks afterwards because, you know, they were leaving shortly thereafter because that was the end of her sophomore year. But I was like, hey, you gotta follow up with her for me. Like, make sure.
Sounds like your origin story a little bit, some parallels there.
True.
And then fast forward just a couple months later, I was with the Keybirds for baseball. We were going to Miles City for a non-conference game, and a player who shall remain nameless was being a pill in the bus.
Oh, no.
And the coach looks at me and says, hey, you were just talking about how you had the softball girl. Can he come on the bus? He came up in the booth with you. I'm like, I looked at him, I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he came up and he had a blast.
Oh, cool.
He had so much fun. And because baseball games are all double headers. So during the first game, there was a kid who didn't run out of pop fly. So he got sent up to the booth in the second game. He had a bunch of fun too. So what started out as a punishment has now turned into something that kind of a tradition that we do with the Keybirds. Non-league games on the road, I usually have a player up in the booth with me. And it's for the fans and the grandparents and the parents and for the kids. But selfishly, for me, I'm just like looking. I was like, please I just want to see that look in your eye. I just want to see that spark ignite. I was like, just come on. And there's a couple of them. I'm like, I've told their parents, I'm like, hey, they ever looking for some part-time work, let me know.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah.
What a wonderful thing to like stumble into, at like a new innovative idea that can, I don't know, bring awareness to your profession, but also like stoke this fire in these kids and show them that there is a world out there where they can do things relating to sports, but, you know, not directly sports.
Yeah, and kind of like you were saying, it feels kind of like an older profession. Like maybe people feel like that's not something I can really break into. But you're literally like
bringing in kids.
Yeah, and that young energy to be like, look, like this can be really fun to not a punishment. This is something that is a fun and enjoyable time to spend your time and appreciating the sport that you love. It's so cool.
It's like I approach the kids kind of like a, you know, very like, hey, this is fine. You don't have to be nervous. And I tell them, I was like, there's only 2 rules. Can't talk crap about umpires. That's my job. And 2, you can't swear. You can't talk negatively about anyone, like players especially, and that goes for myself as well. And it's like sometimes do I get too much on the officials? Yes. Am I working on that? Yes. And I fully admit, because And the other thing, it's like, hey, when I'm wrong on air, the big thing is to admit it right away.
Right.
Because it's like, if you make a mistake and double down, and I'm like, I don't know how many times I've seen this, where you see someone make a comment on air, and it's like, if someone was, had both the word fun and truck in their mind at the same time, that's something similar has happened, and it's like, apologize for that, move on.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you double down and not need to, or if you say something that, if you weren't aware that was insensitive, it's like, do a little more research before you make comments. But also, it's like, hey, if you say something that's insensitive, even if you think it means one thing and you say it and it's like, ooh, that's not actually right, it's like, hey, apologize right away, because you've seen, I don't know how many times with people who double down, it always just looks worse.
Yeah.
And especially, it's like especially when sports media, when it's so immediate that, hey, it's live and you're not a political pundit, where some of those things are, can be swept under the rug. It's like, no, that's when you're dealing with minors and you're dealing with women, and you want to be like, I don't know the world that kids are in. It's like, I get some of the stuff from social media and some of the stuff reflects onto me, and it's like, I have to be really careful about picking any of stuff like this. And also for women in sports, it's so hard enough as it is. And I would really, it's like, my goal for Williston is like, I would love to have women sports broadcasters be a part of the radio station, because it's like, their voices deserve to be heard, and there's stories that I cannot tell as a man for women's sports, that even if it's the words are acceptable for me to come out of my mouth, I'm telling someone else's story.
Yeah.
And so that's some of the things, like when you're looking to connect with young girls and women, it's like casting in movies. It's like, you want people to see reflections of yourself. Yes, can I enjoy a women's basketball game without seeing that there are no men playing? 1,000% I can. But for the little girls who are growing up and they want to see the Jersey Bergs and the Taylor Murtaughs of the Tetons, and it's like, hey, why? I'm sure there's little girls who are listening to basketball on the radio or watch the Teton YouTube game. Wouldn't they love to hear, someone who sounds like them? And so it's like, that's something that's like, if I put myself out of a job because I happen to stumble across like the next Cheryl Burke, I will happily saunter into that sunset. I was like, or you go be famous and be far more successful than I am, and I will have this corner.
That's so true. There's definitely room for people. And I mean, there will always be certain male-dominated fields, for sure. But part of that really is the representation. Is there like the young version of you, but a girl who's playing and is like, oh wow, I could do that, kind of a thing. It's hard to visualize yourself when you don't see that role model that's already there. And I know, like, more and more for women's sports, there are becoming those bigger role models that are forefront. Like, case in point, Caitlin Clark. She is everywhere in the WNBA. She's been an ambassador for women, for the league, for justice. For everything. She's not afraid, because she has that platform where she is so far above everything else, and she has trickled down into society that she can be that beacon for those who cannot. Yeah. And if I know that I can't be that beacon, but if I can help foster someone else who can, that would be like, that's kind of. And we were talking about like older people in the industry. Look around the state. For full-time radio guys, I might be the youngest guy by 15 years. Oh, wow. Yeah. Like, I want to say 20, but I don't want to be disrespectful to the other guys in case they're just, you know. But yeah, I'm going to be 40 in October. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I see some of the young kids that are on, Beck TV and PSP, and I'm like, that's great. You guys are doing that, the TV thing, but it's like, there needs to be, like, radio can still be exciting. It can still be fun, and it still matters to these communities. So why not try to foster the next generation
because by doing that, I guarantee if I can foster the next generation, and there's, hey, maybe a couple radio stations pick up a younger person, that keeps those sports entities going. And with other people around the state going, people here will look, well, they got it going. Why can't we keep it going?
Yeah.
And because when you lose something, it's so hard to get it back. And especially with legacy media, when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. God, I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a sports person. I'm from Massachusetts. Did I cheer for the Patriots? Obviously. But it's beyond that is a mystery to me. But hearing you talk about it and like I kind of explain your passions about it and just a brief insight of what that life looks like, it's very exciting, even to someone who doesn't really necessarily like sports.
It makes me want to go see a Williston State women's basketball game specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, and not only the fact that they're, receiving ranks, they should be top 25. They have amazing players, a great coach. The environment is just terrific, but they're so good. Like they beat Miles at home by 4, and it was kind of like a shock. Oh my gosh. But they beat teams by 60, 70 this year because they're doing it going 7 deep. So it's amazing. And I want to go back to you real quick because I see we're running out of time. But what is something that you're just passionate about?
In me in general?
Yeah. I mean, and this is for you, but this is also for anyone who doesn't do sports.
Yeah. No, I was an arts kid. I love all the arts, whether that's playing music or, painting or drawing or doing things creatively. That's kind of where I leaned to. I tried to dabble in sports to see if that's something I was interested in. I think I went to one softball practice and I was like, I can't keep up with these girls. So, I
mean, for a lot of people, there is, the competitive aspect doesn't relate to them. A lot of people, the group aspect doesn't relate to them, which is fine.
Yeah.
Some people find their calling in solo endeavors, but I look at, you said the arts, and I instantly went to painting. That's just where my mind was. It's like, well, you look at, and you're going to have to go a long ways back when these painters like the Rembrandts and the Raphaels were initially commissioned. They were commissioned by patrons, and they had rivals as well. So you look at these soap opera worthy Renaissance painters who had their patrons and their rivals, and they're going at each other. I mean, any heated Rivals fans in the audience, but yeah, it's like that sort of like that drama that you can find that in any aspect of life, and it's just being projected onto a game. So like that thing, it's like it's entertainment, it's drama. If it's not your form of drama, that's fine. It's like sports isn't for everyone, but it's there for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the big thing that I think people constantly forget. People constantly try to tell people that it's not there for everyone, but it is. I mean, sports it can be escapism. I know it was for me growing up. It can be your lone socialization. I don't know how many, adult kickball leagues or,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like and those are all over the country. It's like, hey, we don't really want to do anything that's like hyper sporty competitive, but we can kick a ball and run in a circle with a bunch of friends and probably have a few beers afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's like and I guess it boils down to like, you're just finding your tribe. Because whether it's art or whether it's sports or whether it's D&D or video games, and some people have a lot of tribes. And like me, I'm like right now, I am planning a D&D one shot, and I'm and I'm planning a charity game show, and then I'm work stuff that I have coming up and home stuff, and it's like, also the World Cup is coming up, and the Olympics are coming up, and it's high school baseball or basketball season, and it's college basketball season, and baseball is right around the corner, and it's NBA, and it's the NFL playoffs. So it's like, I found my tribe, but you have to say, like, how much am I going to spend time with you?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's for, my wife joins groups, and, whether it's artsy or whatever, it's like, hey, that's her thing and she loves it. She gets enrichment out of it. She enjoys it. It's not toxic. It's not detrimental to anyone. So it's like, it's a net positive to her. And hey, if I can help bring net positives to people, then that's the goal.
Yeah. I do want to offer a correction that, Meg is definitely a competitive person. And we do have a tribe of gamers.
Yeah.
I mean,
we definitely have that aspect.
What are you playing then?
A variety of games, a lot of silly games, a lot of competitive games, a lot of
co-op games too.
Yeah.
Where you cooperate.
So, and yeah.
But even in those, it'll be like something like Repo, and it's like, oh look, I brought in a $10,000 item, and you dropped your $1,000.
I'm so bad at Repo, I cannot stand it.
It's so fun.
I love that game so
that one
much.
it takes practice.
I play it with friends because they're playing it and I want to hang out with friends. Yeah. And I was like, give me RV there yet. Give me Schedule 1.
Oh, yes. That I love Schedule 1. RV there yet is so kind of glitchy.
We dabbled in it as soon as it came out. So I'm sure there's some patches that have...
I think the jank is the purpose.
Yeah. Oh, for some games, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, right now I'm on Generation 0. It's like I don't know if you've heard of Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
It's like if Arc Raiders was a 4-person adventure game set in the 80s.
Oh.
Alien robots, everything like that.
I saw that somewhere.
That sounds fun.
7 Days to Die, Ark Survival Ascended.
Peak. Have you heard of Peak?
I've heard of Peak. I've watched a lot of friends play Peak. I usually, when they have the crowd control on, I usually screw with them. I bring in the tornado or something to try to mess with them.
Yeah.
I play some Overwatch.
Okay.
And then, I play mostly games where it's like, hey, you can play with people. Unless it's like a survival crafting game like The Long Dark, where you're stuck up in a blizzard apocalypse in Canada and have to just... It's like, but, I can shut down my mind. I have to focus on... I don't have to focus outwardly on surviving because all of my needs are taken care of, but I can focus on keeping this character alive.
Yeah.
And the world melts away. It's like, okay, my timer goes up. Oh, hey, let me go back to work. I'm not stressed out about anything.
It's amazing.
I love that there's a common thread with everything that we spoke about, whether it's just the nerdiest stuff or the sportiest stuff or the most creative things. Everything has a common thread.
It does.
And that's wonderful.
Because all the things that we have talked about have a history of being collaborative things, whether it is art or music, sports, gaming. And that is kind of, it's a cool way to build friendships and relationships. And
that's something that I've really, within the past couple of months, I've really come to realize that the collaborative effort and the things that I do with friends, it's like, I enjoy doing those things. I enjoy doing sports selfishly too, but it's like, I enjoy doing that for others. I enjoy helping others design game nights and run game nights. It's like, I like being the dungeon master because I can see the look in my eyes or the look in my friend's eyes when they solve a puzzle or when they beat the big bad guy or when they figure something out, a plot hook that I've been seeding and the light bulb goes on and I'm like, this is the best because I get to indulge them in, whether it's just adventure, power fantasy, whatever it is, make sure they have a good time. And then also it's like through that, it's like ensuring that they do, it's like, this was really fun for me and it's really fulfilling.
I love it. We've talked about so many different things today. I absolutely love this. This has been such a great conversation, Mike. But I know we're over time, but I don't even care. I want to know, have you come up with a really crazy question for him?
No.
Dang it.
No, I didn't. There's a long story why there hasn't. I couldn't access the document that houses all of our wonderful creative questions. And so off the spot, I was like, I'll just do a little, but I think this will apply to him.
Okay.
But before we ask that very important question that we always say for last, I do want to just touch base real quick on the things that you're doing now and the things that people can look forward to in the future. Just kind of shout yourself out and how people can stay connected in what you're doing, or anything that you want to just highlight.
Absolutely. Well, I'm in the middle of both Coyote and Teton basketball season currently as we're in the meeting the later parts of January. February we'll get into tournament time, and March maybe some college tournament time until we get into baseball in April. So for winter and spring, I I am focused on sports. That's kind of all my little projects have to be like just helping friends out. But hey, if I think it's going to be at least 3 times a week from here until the end of February. Wow. I'll be doing sports, and then I will be 5 days a week on KEYZ delivering the top 6 stories that we hope are important for you to care about.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I hope we can come and bring some stories for you.
Yeah. And we always love hearing about local stuff and stuff going on. But it's like, hey, it's like we like to celebrate the local stuff when we can, but also it's like, hey, it's kind of like bringing the message. It's like sometimes we have to bring unpopular messages, and it's not because we want to, it's because it's important. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and as far as like news goes, like I'd rather write about a health, and I tell everyone this, so it's nothing new. I'd rather write a story about a health and human services program that can help 5 people in Williston than write something clickbaity that 100,000 people see.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, that's just, hey, it's like if some of my stuff is boring, sorry, but it's like, hey, I'm not giving opinion. I'm not, I was like, I try to put it in the best context I can, but here's the bland, boring news without opinions or without,
but with value.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's, really the informal, let the people decide. It's like, yes, but the people have to be given proper context, and that's so hard to do within a 30-second story. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's why it's like, hey, go see more information on KEYZradio.com when there is more information to give.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I have. It's kind of just can be all on air live, and I'm hoping that sometime by the end of this year, the game show that I run on Twitch is going to be developed for more of a live audience.
That would be wonderful.
So,
yeah.
And there's a lot of, it's thematically, I take a lot of inspiration from Samurai and Game Changer on Dropout. So the game changes every single time. It can be Jeopardy, it can be trivia, mini games. This next one that's going to be happening here in just a few days, I took inspiration from, it's a game called Party Quirks, where it's like charades for sociopaths.
Oh, what?
It's
That's interesting.
It's like you have five very in-depth bits. Like one of them would be like, your first bit would be like, you're a kid who's coming downstairs on Christmas morning and searching for presents. Like that's their first bit that you have to embody. And then the second one is you're constantly trying to break out in song, but you don't. So it's like those just layer on top of each other. And there's one person who has to as these 3 individuals are coming in and out of the scene, kind of talking, they have to figure out which each one are, and they're all so pedantic and so just it's
oh my gosh.
It's torture, but it's going to be so much fun for the audience who can kind of poke and prod, and it's for charity, so they'll be able to donate and give a hint and stuff like that.
That's
so
cool.
Fun.
So I mean, where can people find that, or news about it releasing to the mass public, or how does that work?
There will be I will have stuff out on social media, probably I'll probably run through a group here in town when I'm ready to, but for right now it's for small groups of friends online, some small charity stuff that we do.
I see.
This one is for RACES, for humane immigration services.
Oh, wow.
So that's, we did a couple of ones we did the LA fires, we did Pride, so we've done a lot of stuff.
I love this.
That's it's just a group of us. My friend decided to, hey, we're doing these things, let's start a 501c3. So she started it, and I get to be kind of a little idea gremlin. It's I would have loved to have been part of the board and stuff like that, but I was like, I'm way too busy. I get it. But I was like, yeah, I get to be an idea gremlin that I say hey guys, want to do this? And they're like, if you can do it, then yeah. So,
oh my gosh. Well, send us a link to that so we can include it with this episode.
I will certainly do that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh, so wonderful to hear about. I feel like I don't think we talked much before this. I know we've come in for some radio stuff, and of course you, Carmen, you know him because
but I didn't know about
dog
this.
friends.
So fun.
And
yes.
yeah, so it's been such a joy to like listen about like a little bit more about you and like the stuff that you have going on. I didn't know majority of this, so what a treat.
Yeah, I am I have to say this is the most in-depth like about myself I have ever put out there.
We are honored.
Exclusively at Engage Williston.
Exclusive. Like this is exclusive. But no, yeah, and it's one of those things where, I growing up in the middle of nowhere in Northeast Montana, it's like there was no, those big buckets that people can get lost into. Yeah. It's like you kind of got, I graduated with 11 kids in my high school class. Gosh. So there were 42 kids in high school total. You kind of had to be involved in everything to have a chance. And, not everything, but a lot of things. And that's just kind of how it was. And now it's like, ooh, let me do this. Ooh, let me do that. And with the internet now, it's made everything so accessible. It's made people so accessible. So, like I said before, it's like, hey, finding your tribe. Really, it's like I can find my tribe through the internet. And it's like, oh, you think you find something like, yeah, this really isn't for me. Or it's like, oh, I wasn't aware this was just underneath the surface. But then you can go be like, oh, no, these are my people. They're both, they're big nerds. They love sports. One of my best friends that I've made, he used to write for a website that I would go into the comments section and just obliterate them. It was a sports thing. And it's like, I would go, and I remembered his writing. Obviously, he never went to check in the comments, but I just, but I was like, we made that connection. It was like, hey, I know you.
Yeah.
And so we became friends.
That's so cool.
That's so fun.
I love that you've found this community, but then you're also creating one here in Williston in these little pockets that people can feel safe in and really connect with other people. So I think I can speak for both of us by saying we appreciate that and your contributions here to Williston, and yeah, that's wonderful. And I'm interested in this D&D thing, so let us know when you have another campaign and need more people.
Yeah. I mean, there's two of you here. If you find like two more, we could probably do at least a little one shot, and then you could probably record it and put it out.
I can think of so many people in my brain right now. So
yes, okay.
I already have a one shot plan in my head. I mean, I already have one just right there. Yeah.
The silly and goofier the better, honestly.
It's gonna have to be an episode. a series.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a really easy system that was put out for free last year. It's called Never Stop Blowing Up. The whole instruction manual is like 2 pages. And
that's what I need.
Yeah, exactly. It makes, like, the thing about D&D, it's like there's so much information, it's intimidating. Yeah. But like with this, it's like, oh, you have some dice that I have more than enough. And it's like you basically, the goal is to become 80s action stars.
Nice.
And that's the whole thing. The more ridiculous, the better.
Yeah.
And it's like just absurd. And I'll leave a little teaser because if you guys want this to happen, I will make it happen. Do you know the movie The Last Action Hero?
No.
Good.
Okay. So go watch that.
So go watch The Last Action Hero, and that will be your instruction on what to expect if we run a one shot.
That's okay. I love that.
All right, I've got weekend plans.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that.
Amazing.
All right, so the long-awaited last question. Hopefully this hits and it doesn't just flop.
Here we
go. When you walk into a room, what song would be playing? So, like, what is your song? This is like your theme song. This is like you wake up in the morning.
He's ready.
This is like what plays.
I think this is actually kind of the perfect question
for
him.
It is,
actually.
right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, okay, yeah, this is the one.
Are we talking current or all time?
All time.
Okay, let's do all time and then current.
Okay, we'll do.
I'm gonna be greedy. I want to know both.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I will do. Let's see.
Chunky woke up from his nap.
Oh, I took the wrong thing. So here's my all-time, and this is legitimately the last thing that I play before I walk into a stadium or a basketball court.
So this is like your hype. This is
his actual theme song for his work.
Okay,
that's amazing.
And it's going to be so unexpected. Hold on. I gotta get the right. I'm teasing.
The right version.
Yeah, I'm teasing.
That's right.
Okay. So yeah,
That is very unexpected.
You'll Be Back from Hamilton. It's the last thing I listen to before I go in because I'm usually driving and I'm singing it because it's my vocal warm up. Mm-hmm. And so because it has such a range that it can, it warms up like when I'm really pressing and like when I have to get some low notes and some strength and then just some of the yelling notes. It's like kind of mixed like pressure on the throat. So it's like, it really just kind of gets me warmed up. So that's kind of been like, and then just some of the words. It's like, I'll send a fully armed battalion to remind me of my love. Like, what a more badass mic drop thing to say when you're getting ready for a game.
I want to be in the car next to you. We
Yes.
Cannot hear what you're singing. It's just you belting it.
Hey, I'll go bump some songs when we get done here. And then this is my current.
Okay.
This is a Minneapolis rapper named Professor.
Okay.
And
intrigued.
this is the
I feel
song.
like you were telling me about him the other day.
I think so. And this is the song High Price Shoes.
That's amazing.
If I want to just be a vibe and feel myself when I go into something, that's my song.
God, thank you for sharing that. I feel like I'm going to turn that on when I go home and just vibe.
Beautiful
But,
answers.
I like, a lot of these things, like we were talking, like how this is a movie. I see a lot of those things cinematically. And so I'm like when I'm doing stuff, when I'm in the car, I flip through songs, I'm like, oh, this is a good song for this. Oh, this is great for a project. I'm like, this gives me an idea for a project. So
I love that. That's how I am as well.
Yeah.
So I was a movie buff growing up, but anyways,
Fun.
wonderful answers. I feel better now.
That was a great question. Perfect question for Mike. Oh man, well thank you so much again for coming on.
Thank you guys
conversation.
for having me. Sorry we went a little long.
That's okay.
No.
I think this is just the start of more conversations that we're gonna have and more perhaps Twitch and D&D and
I mean, you guys, hey, if you guys want me to run you a one shot or your own custom, trivia Jeopardy or a full on production game show, I will gladly. And even I will put together a full video package intro.
Whoa.
And when we get off, I will show you the last video package I made.
I know you've been showing me some of those. Those are so cool.
I love making them.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Mike. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Chunky.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chunky. Thank you to our listeners, and we will catch you all on the next episode.
Yeah. See you later.